Okay, the last part about my kitchen and like my work area and everything is this rafter up here where I keep stuff people gave to me. There's a lot of important stuff that people gave to me throughout the year. Some of it lasted through extreme conditions, but I held on to it anyway because they were pretty important. Like these up here, cool folks live here, and Glen and the Bad Lads symbols were for my friends Jeff Howland and Tony Stroman. I had those in the first place I ever moved to in West Bend. It was on my door out there. Survived a number of years in an old, dusty shed. And the paper feels like brittle, but it's still holding together. Still with the original duct tape on it too. I got pictures of concepts of a cartoon I wanted to do for my first job that I opened in. It's gonna be a cartoon based on all of us who worked there. There's a lot of funny stuff that happened there. Arnold Schwarzenegger was gonna be a character. Of course, I got me as a superhero. I got me and Jeff and Tony up there. I got an awesome Valentine I got from Mr. Sean Larson. Be mine, I won't take 9 for an answer. Yes, the Holocaust wasn't a good thing, but we can still laugh at some, Hitler humor. I got my Glen symbol. That's another one from when I first moved out that Mr. Jeff Holland made. What's really funny is my brother-in-law Austin wanted to make me some stuff to put on the wall, but he was all like, well, I can't draw anything. I'm not that good at doing artistic stuff. So he made some pretty complex math equations to put on my wall. I thought that was nice since I put it up there anyway. It was still a good effort. It's still touching. It means something, and it's got its place on my wall. So let's move on to the bathroom. Once again, this movie was complete shit. And that's why it's on my bathroom door, because you know that you go in here to take a shit because this movie sucked. Anyway, this is my bathroom. You guys might have seen it. I filmed some stuff in here a while ago. I wanted to... There's not much in here, but I wanted to bring it in here because there's some nerdy type stuff on the wall. Like I got a poster from the 70s. I got a bunch of posters in here. But this one, I don't know where it came from. It looks like a Mad Magazine type poster. I got other stuff too that was given to me from people. This was actually given to me by my aunt's boyfriend, Don. I got more Bad Lads comic book stuff. Lego Glen, the complete saga. I drew that a long time ago. A lot of this stuff survived being in a garage for a long time. I'm surprised it still stayed around. I got the comic book pages on my bathroom wall for some reason. I always liked the Superman is dead comic book thing. People have like read it. A lot of people didn't know that Superman died in the comic books in the mid-90s, I want to say. I remember it, though, from being a kid. They got Ghost Rider. This is just funny because it's just odd. So I stuck it on my wall anyway. It's from 1985. It's a Spider-Man ad trying to prevent sexual abuse to children. It's a good message, but it's just weird to see that in a comic book, and it's a funny a funny thing, even though it's about something that's not funny. It's hard to explain. Of course, I got Judge Dredd and Batman up there. I got that poster with the comic book. Of course, I have to mention that. My friend Jeff Howland made that in school when he was in high school, and the teacher told him he wasn't allowed to use any more swear words in his projects. So he came up with that, and it's been in each one of my bathrooms in almost every place I've lived in since then. Of course, I got my awesome shower curtain of a beach. Like I pretend I'm on a tropical island having a drink, because I'm probably never going to get to go to a fucking tropical island and have a drink. Over here too, I got more dirty shit on my wall. One thing you're going to learn about me is I love posters. I'm going to explain that when we look at the living room. Of course, I got my Black Label Society mirror that Mr. Derek Schultz gave me, if you're watching, Derek. I appreciate all that stuff. This is also where I keep like costumes and stuff that I use, game peripherals that I'll probably never use again that would take up too much space out in the living room. I got my Evil Dead stuff on, my chainsaw up there. Probably, stuff you guys saw in my videos. And we're about to exit the bathroom, and I'm going to give you a good look at my house. It's just, my house is like one big box. If you look at it, it's not like split up into sections. It's like one huge room, and then a couple bedrooms. It's really kind of funny if you guys really didn't understand the layout for my videos or whatever. So we're gonna exit the bathroom. And this is what my house looks like. Like I said, it's one big box. It's almost like a, you know, I live and work in here, and it's almost like I'm living in my childhood. So let's go to the living room. We'll take a long journey to the living room. And this is my living room. I like it. Like I said in the bathroom, I'm really obsessive compulsive about posters. I got a poster fixation if you haven't seen. I got posters all over the place. A lot of these posters, some of them are like 20 years old. I paid a lot of money for some of them, especially the ones in my son's bedroom. I'm always like getting new posters, and the big problem is, well, where do I put this one or where do I put that one? I never want to get rid of them. They've lasted from when I was, a lot of them, some of them are from when I was like 15, like a teenager, all the way up until now. I got one from the first, you know, Spider-Man movie. That was like ages ago. I just didn't want to get rid of them ever. This is where I also film the Game On episodes, pretty much, with me and Austin. This is also where I relax and play video games and watch TV, obviously. But we could, you know, have a look around. Here's my big wall of posters. Here's some of my favorite movies that are. Some of them are like movies that are going on like right now, like are popular like in the current year. But what I want to do is get posters from the movies I loved as a kid. Like I want to get a poster for the 1989 Batman, Ghostbusters 2, and some other ones. And that's above my son's bedroom. He's got like diplomas from each grade that he graduated from. More Star Trek figures like in the kitchen from Mr. Scott Lippert. Keep you in my thoughts, Scott. I miss you. Of course, I got, you know, the box for the NES satellite up on my wall. I want to get more video game stuff to put on my walls. Like I got the Nintendo Power posters up there. Those are from the satellite too that I bought. And of course, the Evil Dead poster that Mr. Jake Osborne bought for me, one of my old friends. I got the Scarface on my wall. I'm gonna remove that one and put it in my room, I think, because I used to love Scarface, but now it's kind of like, eh. Still a masterpiece, I just don't really watch it a whole lot. And of course, you got, you know, Spider-Man and Venom, one of the best fights in history. Mr. Carl Holland gave me that. See what I'm saying? A lot of people gave me a lot of shit, and it's kind of like a museum to them. I'm paying homage. Of course, on my couch here, I got, you know, the Ninja Turtles I bought when I found them at Walmart. And there's a Super Thomas I had in some of my videos, like he was like above my house, like fighting Godzilla and stuff. So he hangs out in my living room too. Just kind of like whenever I film stuff, I want it to be like kind of like a reference to my other videos. That's good filmmaking. Because I got Mario and Luigi. Of course, I got another video game ad for Game Gear on the wall over here. The Vice City map for Grand Theft Auto and stuff my son made last year for Christmas. Got my big projection television. I love this fucking thing, even though a lot of people wouldn't like it nowadays because it's kind of blurry. These I didn't have a place in Connor's room for, so they just kind of sit here in the living room. I got my little Ninja Turtle lamp that Connor and my dad went and bought me for Christmas. Love that thing. It's the original Turtles. The best Turtles ever. Even some toys that get left out kind of tell a story. Like a lot of these are kind of like paying homage to my childhood too. A lot of them are Toy Story toys, and some of them are like my favorite things as a kid. I really loved Toy Story. Once again, I got the Lost in Space robot from the movie. I love that movie. I don't know why it didn't do better or get a sequel. This is the original Buzz Lightyear from the first movie from the 90s. It was one of my favorite things at Christmas. Of course, my Coke Bear, he was one of my favorite things growing up. I took him all over the place. My Woody from Burger King that my dad got me. I thought this thing was like the greatest thing ever. It's also, that Burger King is where I played Super Mario Brothers 2 on the Play Choice 10. It was a Nintendo arcade machine with just Nintendo games in it. It was pretty cool. Of course, my son has he's got Buzz Lightyear and Woody from the Toy Story 3, the newer movies. He's got his dinosaur that keeps popping up everywhere. I thought I got rid of this thing a while ago, but he just keeps turning up. And he's got Sonic the Hedgehog, one of his favorite characters, and he keeps him over here too. So yeah, a lot of other things in my house where I have them placed, and so they kind of tell a story about my life, kind of my childhood, growing up until now. I don't know. Over here is where I got some more game stuff. I got fucking Tiger Electronic handheld games up here, like some of the worst shit ever, but this is stuff that, again, was given to me or just accumulated around my house. And I don't want to throw it out now because, well, I collect all this shit, you know? They're antiquities. They're my generation's version of antiques. A lot of people are getting into game collecting. I don't think so much Tiger games, even though these are kind of getting pricey on eBay if you find one that works. And of course, I got Tanuki Mario. Love Tanuki Mario from the game. And my Ninja Turtle lava lamp that Mr. Carl Holland gave me. I got different game peripherals up here. I got one of my favorite things of all time is the wireless NES satellite. I play with this thing all the fucking time. One of Nintendo's greatest inventions. Also got a wireless NES controller, which works like shit. Acclaim did a horrible job with this. And down here I just got some Sega Genesis boxes that survived. And then lots of this stuff is kind of worth money if you have the boxes with it yet, from what I learned. This area I also use for charging my batteries for my camera and my game systems, like my PSP and Game Boy. I also have a Godzilla. Yeah, he hangs out by the charging station. This is really awesome. Santa Claus got this for Connor for Christmas last year, but Connor really doesn't play with him. I think he's just too big. He's a huge toy. There's my Skylanders collection. What I will say, though, is that Skylanders Swap Force, or whatever the hell, biggest waste of money ever. Some people might love the game, but it was buying every one of these little fuckers and then finding out the game isn't that long and unsatisfying. It's a waste of money, a waste of time, not fun. That's just me, though. Back there, I love that. That's the Japanese version of GoldenEye 007 on Nintendo 64. Got it on eBay for a couple dollars back in 2002, I think. I don't know how much it's worth now, but it's got the original box and everything. Of course, there's Mario. Mario looks depressed. And this is my video game collection. It's not very big. I would have liked it to be bigger. Most of my games consist of Xbox 360, PlayStation 2, and NES games. I do have a shitload of Nintendo 64 games too, though. I don't have a lot of rare titles, but I'm working on it. Dun dun dun! The so-called worst game of all time. I don't really believe that, though. There's a lot worse out there than that. My whole goal is to get all 800 NES officially licensed games. That's going to be a little hard because there's some games out there that range from anywhere from $100 to, a couple $1,000s. Not including the NWC carts, the Nintendo World Championship carts. That can range up to about... I'm not a pro at pricing games. I've seen prices around, but the Nintendo World Championship carts they cost anywhere from $15,000 to $25,000 just because of how rare they are. That's fucking crazy, but it also proves the point that these games are like the 80s kids, that generation's version of antiques. Like, your grandparents might have collected like tin toys and shit like that. We're all about games. I mean, I do have a few rare, not so rare, but like pricey titles. Castlevania 1 is in my NES right now. I play that one a lot, but I got, all the other Castlevania games. I got Akari Warriors. Not so rare, shitty game. Blech. But I have all the ones that really matter. I got Mario 3, Castlevania. I gotta get Contra yet. I don't know why I don't have that. I got all the ones I had growing up. Quite a few games. I think I have that gamer thing where it's like I got all this, and sometimes when Connor wants to play a video game, it's like, oh, I don't got nothing to play. But it's like, look at all these fucking games. That would be enough for anyone to find something and want to play it. Of course, there's Darth Vader. My big-ass Darth Vader, I love that thing. Sits right next to my video games. Of course, Luke Skywalker is my favorite Star Wars character, but they didn't make a big one of him. Try to hold the camera steady. This area over here, this is my big shelf of like DVDs, and my video game systems are down here. Okay, like I said, I don't have a ton. I want to get the peripherals too, like the Power Glove and the Konami Laser Scope. Is another thing I want. Let's just take a look at some of this stuff. I got my Starship Enterprises up there, along with that alien skull I got that in Florida with my dad when we went to Disney World. There's my Polyfirst packaging clock. That signifies that I was there 5 years. I'm now there 7 years. Of course, my DVDs, I just keep like my favorite stuff out here. It meant a lot to me as a kid. I got, you know, RoboCop, Back to the Future, all the Ghostbusters movies. I got the Ghostbuster movie set, but I also have them on Blu-ray over on that DVD shelf. Then I got, you know, Rocky, Rambo, Jurassic Park, Star Wars, Star Trek. A lot of these are like comedies. Horror movies line the bottom. You know, my superhero movies, Godzilla. I love giant monster movies. I loved them since I was a kid. A lot of people think they're cheesy, but I still love them. I also pull up my stuff for like holidays. I got all my Halloween cartoons there for my son, so we can watch those. House. I'm doing a House-a-thon again. I watch every season of House once a year. It's the one show I binge on, even though it hasn't been on TV in a long time. And in this area, I got all my game systems. We finally made it down here. Don't have a ton. I want to get more game systems. Like I said, I want to get a TurboGrafx 16. I want to get another Atari 2600. A lot of game systems I want to play that I haven't played yet, or just want because I collect, you know. Greatest system that was ever made right here. The Nintendo Entertainment System. This is the original one me and my sisters got for Christmas. I want to say 1988 or 9. We had Snoopy's Silly Sports Spectacular, the Mario Duck Hunt cartridge. Yeah, it was amazing. I loved it. Still play it to this day. Still works fucking great. All I had to do was change the pin connector inside there so it works good. Got my Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo is another great system. I never had it growing up, but I do love it. I'm still partial to the Sega Genesis because that's the one I had around the time of the 16-bit wars when kids were fighting about which was better, Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis. I got this around the time my son's mom was pregnant with him, and we played the shit out of Super Mario World. That was still at a time when these things were fairly affordable. I got this for $20. Now you can't really touch them for less than $30 or $40, depending on the shape. Got my Nintendo 64 down here. Of course, Star Wars Battle for Naboo's, and I don't know what the fuck that's doing in there. Not a very good game. It's okay. Another great system I spent hours on. That was a great one. Up here is my Sega Genesis. This one I got back from my grandma's house. It was in a shed for a long time. It had a lot of problems. I did open it up and did some repairs. Some of the pins and the controller slots were kind of fucked up. And the Sega Genesis too was a really great Christmas gift because I wanted it so fucking bad. And my dad ended up getting it for me. Like Santa Claus got it for me for Christmas. My parents. They had a present that I was supposed to like leave closed up until we went to my grandma's house, and that's where the Sega Genesis was going to be, so I was supposed to open it there. And it was Mortal Kombat 3 and a player's guide. It was one of the best fucking Christmases ever. I still remember it. That's kind of why the Sega Genesis is so important to me too. It's a great system. Played the shit out of it with my best friend Derek when we were in grade school. We got a lot of memories tied up in this thing. Got all my controllers up here. I got the zapper. Every kid needs a zapper, right? Of course, I got my N64 controllers, more joysticks. Up here is my PlayStation 2 right here. And of course, if you look at this, all these game systems, it's really hard to wire them up. And I'm talking about fucking getting more, so I'm going to have to get more of these. These are switcher boxes for my TV. One wire goes to the TV, and all my game systems are hooked up into these, and I got these labeled for, you know, each Nintendo system, Sega, the PlayStation 2, the Xbox 360. It's literally a fucking mess, and it's even hard trying to dust those off when I'm cleaning the house. Yeah, but I got my PlayStation 2 up here. $8 from St. Vincent's. Works flawlessly. You cannot beat an $8 PlayStation 2, and it even had a game in it. The Xbox 360 I got from a gift from my son's mom's family. Still works fucking great. I love the Xbox 360. This I got from my friend Carl Holland. It's a Raphael pig. It's a piggy bank. I think this is fucking cool. I love this thing. Yeah, this shelf just has a bunch of like cartoons on it. A bunch of classic ones. I got DuckTales, Simpsons down there, a bunch of Charlie Brown ones, the Family Guy, Star Wars episodes, Garfield, Ninja Turtles, the Ren and Stimpy show every season, a bunch of Connor's dinosaur documentaries because he loves those. He's got just tons of them. And I got some of my Blu-rays up there along with some DC animated movies and stuff. I need to get more DVD shelves. I have to mention this is my comic book collection. There's a shit ton of comics in there from when I was a kid. I gave them all to my son now, but sometimes I still drag them out and look at them, but they just kind of hang out in the living room because I don't really have another place for them. One thing I've always loved, too, that I've always kept in my house, ever since I was a teenager, I had Christmas lights all over my bed and stuff, because I had a bunk bed. I always wanted to keep Christmas lights in my house, because I love them. I think they're great. I buy new ones every year because I don't ever shut them off. They're always on. When I go to work or whatever, they're cool. They have a special feeling for them. I gotta go get like black Halloween lights this Halloween for my place. But I always keep them on. Got them in almost every room in the house. My son's room, the kitchen, up here. Yeah, Christmas lights. I love them. Well, everyone, sorry to do this to you again, but as I said before, this video went on for a little bit too long. So if you're still interested to see the rest of my house, let's finish up the tour in part 3, so stay tuned. Check my lead, I'll set you free.